We work so you can play.
Hey everybody, here we are again with Azhag the Slaughterer and Skullmuncha, his wyvern. I'm going to walk you through how I pinned this all together and painted him up. There's what he's going to look like when we're all done. So this is a big metal model, and in order to keep big metal models from falling apart, you need to use pins. And what do I mean by pins? Well, that's just a paper clip that's been drilled in there and super glued in place. So this is the torso of the Skullmuncha, and those are two paper clips that are glued in place there. They're going to hold in the wings. So this is a piece of green stuff that's mixed up, just a small bit. There's my drill bit, that's about the same size as a paper clip. Here's the inside of the wing, so there's the notch that Games Workshop supplies you with, that the peg will go into, and there's the hole I've drilled that will allow paperclip to add some strength. And there's the other side. So in order to get this all to stick together, use a bit of super glue. It's going to be a super glue sandwich, the way I like to put it. So you got super glue, then green stuff, and then more super glue, and the pin goes right through that. So what you're going to do is squish it all together. Some of the super glue will come out, and you'll kind of wipe that off. And at the end, you'll get lots of surface contact all the way through there, and you'll have a pin that holds it all in place. The green stuff acts as a gap filler, and you can just smooth that over, make it all look good. Here's the other side. So again, super glue sandwich. You can see the super glue there with the green stuff in the middle, and there's my pin. Squish it all together. A bit of green stuff comes out. You just scoop that off and smooth it over, and you've got a strong metal model. And it's a big one, as you can see. A little goblin beside it. There's your standard paper clip. These ones, a little bit of extra ribbing there will help stick things together. Just a bit of extra friction. And there's showing you how big paper clips were that I had, 0.73 millimeters. And there's my pin vise drill bit, and it's 0.75, so just slightly larger, which means that the paper clip will slide inside the hole. And here's a drill index, just all the different size drill bits. I find these break really easily, so try to be careful with, especially with the size that you want, which is your paperclip size. He came on with a chariot base, this kit. I ended up changing it out for a 50mm by 50mm square base, which is what you see him in on the website and on the White Dwarf and whatnot. But he's about the same size as a giant. This giant actually is now done, but I didn't really take pictures of the process. So maybe someday I'll show you what he looks like. Okay, so base colors. You can see there's the base there, and I've done some of the texture already. Find that it's harder to do later because it's sloppy. Anyways, Narlock green and Kemery brown, and just some black that's going to get painted over later. So what I did here is I dry brushed on the Bone Triad from the Reaper range. I'm going to be knocking that down with some washes, and I'm also going to be doing dry brushing here. So focusing on dry brushing because there's lots of texture. You can see, bring that texture there. Okay, knocking it down with Devlin Mud wash. And what that's going to do is bring in the cracks. Did some dry brushing here. That's the olive green Triad, the Reaper range, and then Thraka green wash from Games Workshop. And going to be building this up here after the wash, just with some layers of the Bone Triad. So I also used the olive green for down here, and I used the moss green for the scales, and I gave it all the green wash. And what that did help blend the colors together. They look a bit different, but the green wash kind of brought them together a bit more, so it didn't stand out quite as much. I didn't want to attract too much attention to that. So again, I dry brushed everything and just gave it a wash. Here's what we're looking like now, focusing on bringing the leading edges lighter as well as the center parts of the wings, just to help give it a bit of a 3D look. Starting the base coat here on Azhag, got the bolt gun metal there, and some of the bone shadow, highlighting some of this bone, giving the black wash here, bada black, and adding in some of the details. And now with the Devlin Mud on the on all of the silver bits, as well as this. I tried to make it look kind of the same as the other wyvern rings, but wings, but maybe with a little bit more of a muted tone and darker. Look like it's kind of rotting. Working on the highlights here. This, all the brown bits got Calvin brown. And we built up slightly differently from that. Working on the banner, so I've got Scab red. That's going to be the same red for Azhag. using Gretchen green here, and it's going to have rotting flesh and then skull white. And this is Deneb stone with Griffin sepia wash, Deneb stone layered up again, and then a bit of skull white. And now you can see here this is snakebite leather with bleached bone, with a bit of the red here is highlighted with blaze orange, and the eyes are on top of the blaze orange, giving it a bit of sunburst yellow. And there we go, all put together. Bit of bronze bits here. They were done with scorched brown, followed by shining gold, and then a little bit of deep ocean from the Reaper range to give it a bit of a tarnished look. And there's a bit of gold on skull munch as well. The flesh on Azhag was built up, so it started with the Narlock green, put the green shade, so the Thraka green, and then snot green highlight, followed by a mixture of snot green and scorpion green, and then just pure scorpion green. And it's actually the same color I used in the Skaven for the warpstone, but when done on skin where there's not as many sharp points, it doesn't quite come across as being so glowing. So I like how bright it is, kind of contrast things. Stones were done with a Reaper Stone Triad. I really like that one. Use that lots. And what else we got here? The brown bits. You saw a bit of the in here as well. That was done with Kelphin brown, followed by Beasto brown and bleached bone. And there you go. There's the orc flesh. A little bit of blood red for the eyes and blaze orange highlights. And there's the brown that I was talking about. And you can see the deep ocean, just the tarnished bits in there. Use it in there too. There's these are just painted on with Codex Gray, followed by a bit of Skull White. And Skull Munch, you can see how much fine detail there is. That's why the dry brush worked really well. And yeah, there's some skulls in the back inside of that trophy. And there you are, done. Pretty easy model to paint. Assembling him is the trick. Really nice centerpiece for your army. Quite a big model, as you can see here compared to boys. Hope you enjoyed it. Take care and have fun.